Morning, I'm Steve from Norfolk and Good Road to Self-Sufficiency, and today I'm going to be planting garlic, and I'm going to be starting with my elephant garlic. So let me show you what we've got sorted. So when you harvest your elephant garlic, they get these little quarms on them, and they can take a couple of years from being sown to turning into a nice bulb of garlic. So we're going to plant them individually into seed trays and give them a good start. Sometimes when you harvest elephant garlic, it will grow into just a bulb that's not split, and again they're good to replant, and they can then end up growing into full-sized elephant garlic clothes like those. So we've got the seed tray full of home sift compost, and we're now going to plant these little bulblets or quarms individually into the cells within the tray. You've got to make sure that you plant them the right way up. The very pointy end is uppermost, and we'll just plant them in there. Just like that. And I'll keep going until this tray is full, and then we'll put a layer of compost over the top, and we'll just label them up and put them away somewhere. So I've got the elephant garlic in their tray, watered. They're going to come into the temporary polytunnel alongside the fig cutting that I took off of somebody else's fig a little while ago. That seems to be doing okay, and there's some Lolo Rosso lettuces to be planted out here in the temporary polytunnel. So what I'm going to do now is go and plant all this garlic out. So in true Blue Peter fashion, here's the bed that I prepared earlier. You'll see that in a previous video about how I got that ready for planting the garlic. So we're going to start at one end, every 6 inches apart. I'm going to use a little measuring stick. I don't know whether you can see, I've marked lines on there every 6 inches, and also put some spacings for other plants on there. So I'll use this to plant my garlic out at 6-inch spacings. So I'm going to uncover the bed and crack on with the planting. So I've uncovered the bed from the fleece, and you can see where the eggshells are still on top. I'm just going to give it a bit of a rake through, but before I do, let me show you these fungi that are growing. I've got no idea what they are. Maybe my friend Mothin will know, but that's just showing that there's a good structure of mycelia growing in this bed. I must get these chilies taken up. Right, I'm going to rake this through, and then holes every 6 inches, and get this garlic planted. So there we go, all the holes done, planting holes done for roughly 6 inches apart. Now let's get the garlic in. So what we're going to do first of all is replant these bulbs that haven't split, and then we'll split up the clothes here and we'll plant them. So again, we know which end are the roots, we know which is the top. Just plant them into the ground. I don't need to be too critical about planting them deep, because they're going to have a fleece on them while they grow anyway, so I don't have to worry about the birds pulling them out the ground. But we'll just make sure we get them in. So that's 4 that didn't split from last year. So what we're going to do now is we're going to split these up into their individual clothes. That's the root end, pointy end uppermost, and again we'll just keep planting these individual clothes. I mean, look at the size of them, aren't they gorgeous? So I'm going to crack on with that, and I'll call you guys back on in later. So that's 152 cloves of elephant garlic planted. Just going to water them in and then put the fleece back over. So as well as planting garlic today, I'm also sorting out my compost heaps. So I've got this yard bag that was full of hedge trimmings, and I've just put 3 or 4 inches of layer on there, under which I've turned over some of that one, and I've put some of that on top of some grass clippings that were rotting down on that one there. So the plan now is to give the grass its final cut of the year, put the clippings on there, put more of that onto there and more of them onto there, and fingers crossed we get some of our lovely compost. So there we go, there's a layer of sort of 3 or 4 inches of grass clippings with a good mix of fallen leaves in there. So I'll just turn more of that onto there, keep going through the day. So I've turned over 2 or 3 inches of the middle compost heap onto that grass. I would carry on, but rain stopped play and it's almost 3 o'clock, so it's time for a cup of tea. Well, unfortunately with the rain it carried on and the ground's really wet, but it was good to take the opportunity of this quite warm weather that we have in October, sort of 17 to 19 degrees, to get a couple of 100 garlic bulbs in the ground and do some work on the compost heaps. Thanks for watching, stay safe and enjoy your vegetable growing lives. I'll see you soon.